Good morning, Breakfast Club family. This is Mark Stevens with your host, Joe Shoup, and our special guest, Gloria Reben. We are excited today because some great things are going to be happening and some great information is coming your way. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Yesterday was an exciting and a very, very, very workful day. Got a lot of things done. I know Joe was very busy all day, and by the time we got finished last night into the morning, we both were just out of it. So, again, like I say, we work very hard to bring you the things that you need to do to take your business to another level. So this is February the 25th, 2015. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. So with that being said, we're going to get to Gloria. We're going to turn it right over to Joe. How you doing, Joe? And good morning, Gloria.
Gloria, welcome. Welcome. Gloria has her microphone muted. That's okay. And we'll get to her in a second here, but let's get to some talking points here. And number one is, once again, Tuesday nights is a director, which is what we call. We have a meeting on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you don't get an invitation, you're invited anyway. You go to thebreakfastclub.ws. Don't wait for the invitation. Just go there on Tuesday mornings, Tuesday afternoons, and register, and then you can show up. We had a great discussion last night. You can listen to the recording to hear that because we have a new company that we're using to track our emails, and track our clicks through on our emails or on our websites. So we won't go into that too much. I have a couple of notes because we were trying to figure something out last night about bypassing the first page and this and that. Don't listen. Let me explain this to people. Almost every website has a code which is called an extension to bypass pages. My suggestion is with prospects, don't do that. Have them go to your front page. You can bypass the friends and family and so on, and AdTech Worldwide. You can do all that, but not with prospects. You should always have them on your front page. So keep that in mind. Number two is that we worked hard on finding the right company to track our stuff. So if you listen to the recording from yesterday, you'll see the referral link where you can go to the new company and get familiar with. And it doesn't matter what you're using it for, you can use this company. It's a free version, gives you so many clicks. And it's pretty good. We were very excited with their customer service. So we have that set up now. And in fact, I immediately got click-throughs and saw that people were doing that. So I know we talked about another company, Viral URL, but this is a much easier process to go through. The sign-up is easier. Viral URL wants you to join this and keep paying. And that must have been 4 times they asked me to buy the paid version. And this one is very, very simple, and they've been around a while, and they have great customer service, so I suggest you do that. You just got to listen to the recording from yesterday to get the link. In fact, I sent the link out last night to most of you, so if you don't have that, send me an email, and I will send you that link. So don't forget again Tuesday night. So we asked Gloria to join us today. Gloria Reben has not only attends the Breakfast Club, but has been through the class a few times, and it's exciting to listen to her because she's progressive. She's always looking for a way to make connections with people and find people that are interested. And that's the key to this business, is first communicate your message and then connect with people to find the interested party. It's as simple as that. So with that, let me introduce you to Gloria. Gloria, can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I'm on mute now. Okay.
We're good. glad you're here today. Welcome, and we're excited to hear what you're doing. I know you have some things that are going on, and people will probably want to hear. So, first of all, again, welcome. Thanks for being here. Why don't you share a little bit with us, a little bit about your background, first of all, and then tell us, what's going on with you right now. With, I know you've attended the class a few times, and I know you're getting very skilled with that, with dialogue and communicating and connecting with people. So, tell us what you're doing.
Okay, well, background. I was never interested in making money and being in business or anything like that. And one day I thought, maybe I should start thinking about this because, my situation might change and I will need to have some money. So I started, I responded to a little poster that I saw in my hometown. And when I saw that, people who are good at computers, can have this job. Well, it turned out to be Amway, and I sat down. They showed me the points, and I thought, wow, isn't this brilliant? I just sort of fell in love with the concept of network marketing, of MLM, because instead of giving all your money to big corporations, you can give them to your friends and family. Of course, that didn't take me long to find out that my friends and family didn't feel that way, and went through the route which many of us goes, with trying to find shiny new balls, and found a lot of them. Some of them were good, some of them were scams, so I had a good education kind of the hard way. And what I found was I was very good at convincing people to join me when I did have a good opportunity. But then I didn't know what to do with them. I mean, they just sit there. Why aren't they doing anything? Because I didn't know how. And it has been my desire for all these years to find something that I could actually send people to that I could resonate with, that I felt comfortable sending people to, and it just didn't exist. I mean, the webinars that companies would have you go to sounded like scammy, even though it wasn't a scam, it was a legitimate business. And so it's been my desire to have that for the longest time, and I've never found it until now. And so I found it with you, Joe, with this webinar. This system speaks to me on a very deep level. So much so, in the last couple of years, I've been learning a whole lot about Facebook marketing and things like that, but I couldn't resonate with those either because they were going through kind of a back door, which I didn't feel comfortable with. In other words, you were going after network marketers, people who were in MLM, and helping them get leads and then bringing them into your business. And so that still wasn't satisfying. And I've also been learning about fan pages. I have a lot of pages. Some of them are obsolete and aren't doing anything. And so I decided I would start a page. And what I've been learning is that you don't start a page for your business. You don't advertise your business. You don't brand your business. You brand yourself. And I know when I go to a page where someone's trying to sell me something all the time, I just leave it. I can't stand that. I just don't want to deal with that. And so I didn't want to build a page for carrot bars, but I did want to build a page that would go to the market that I was looking for. And the market I was looking for was people who have jobs, who are looking to retire, who are losing their retirement income, their benefits, all this kind of thing. And that's what I was looking for. And of course, our wonderful ad tech presentation speaks to that. And so what I did is, just recently, there's hardly anything on it right now, but I created a page, and it's a page for personal finance. And I thought, well, I could bring in information from what I'm learning here, especially stuff I'm learning from Mark, and recently all this kind of stuff. In fact, Mark, I do have a quote from you on my page from the other day. But I could also bring information that I've had from the past and from other places, to my page. And a very interesting thing happened, and this has just happened like a day or two ago. I decide, you always, when you have a page, you're always told invite your friends. And there's all your friends are there. You can just click an invite button, invite them to like your page. Well, I've only felt comfortable having people like my page who were in like the network marketing arena. But for the first time ever, I felt totally comfortable inviting all my friends, all my family, people in business, not business, people who were hostile to business, because I wasn't pushing a company. I was really just giving information. So that is a big thing. If you're going to make a page, have it be something that's going to be of value, that's giving people information, something maybe they need to hear, they need to know, and don't worry about, what, other than your target market, and my target market is everybody, it is my family and friends. Although I'm not going to send them to, I'm going to send the family and friends things to my family and friends and not the other one. But they really are part of that target market. So anyway, that was a very big breakthrough for me. So what I've done is now I've broken down my, I'm still in 1999, I didn't upgrade, but I now have broken it down to a three-pronged way of doing my business. And one is the USA Leads. I'm doing USA Leads with the third autoresponder series through Tools Rock. And those are the ones that are going to get and are getting that particular thing. And I'm just going to continue on with that. Now, one thing I think you mentioned, Joe, the other day, that tool that, they give you more than 100 leads a day, and at $19.99 I can only get 100 leads a day. But once in a while I go and I send an email, invite people to go to my AdTech opt-in page. Now, one of the problems is I had the opt-in page, but then the autoresponder system doesn't work because at the $19.99 I only have 2 things to choose, and if I cancel the friends and family, then I can't use that for friends and family.
Right.
And if I do the other one. So what I did, I realized that I had a GetResponse autoresponder system, which I was paying for every month and not using. Kind of a waste. Okay, so well, wait a minute. I could take the letters from the first, from the second one, the first AdTech business presentation, and put them in there. So I started doing that yesterday. The thing is not complete. In other words, I've gotten all the letters set up. And today I'll be putting them in that autoresponder system just as text files, text letters rather than fancy things. And I feel that will go to more people anyway. And I don't know if I have I don't think I have a system there where you can do both of them. You can do the HTML and do the text. So I'm just settling for text. And so that's what I'm about to do today. Okay, so I've got those 2, and so now I'll have all 3. I'll be using the family and friends, send to people as well. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now.
It sounds like you're finding ways, and you're thinking about how your business can progress. I know that we talk about leads, and again, the USA lead system and so on, and I think the answer to everything is that you've got to do everything. You've got to find ways to find the interested parties, and there isn't just one way. In fact, I spent time with Jennifer last night after our call, and we discovered a couple of things. We're getting tremendous hits on USA leads. However, click-throughs are not where we want them to be. So we've discovered what it is, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'll share that with people. We're going to be doing a bunch of testing today, and you mentioned it today. You just said it early on. You said, I'm going after a certain market. I wanted to look for people that were looking for jobs. Maybe they were retiring. Maybe they were losing their benefits. And if you were doing that and you were going to market to that particular group, if you were going to market baby food, it probably wouldn't work. You know, and we have to look at what our target market is. And I think with, you know, one of the things in using a lead system is many, many years ago, it was a great way to quickly find people. But as we know, we all get so many emails, we skip through most of them these days. I am still using USA Leads, but I'm going to target them in a different way starting today. Actually, starting this afternoon, we'll be sending actually a different funnel to them, because I think what we have done is probably looking for people in networking on those particular leads, and I think most of them were, as you said earlier, people looking to make money, and it's possible that that those people were not looking for jobs and looking to be interviewed. So we have to be careful, and that's why we've been testing and adjusting and trying to find our way. But it sounds like to me that you do that on your own, figuring out ways, and that's what we talk about. You know, it's about thinking. And that's what you do, and that's why we wanted you on, because you are a progressive thinker, and you find ways to get things done, and we're excited to be with you with that.
Well, thank you very much. I might throw out one thing as well, is that I was feeling I was getting a little bit overwhelmed with the USA Leads.
Yeah.
So I said, you know, I keep getting them, but I'm not getting anywhere because I can only put in 100 people. So I contacted support, and I said, look, if I stopped getting these leads right now, could I come back and get them more, continue to get them, later on without putting in another $30 setup fee? And they said, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm still getting the leads until my until my month is up and I'm ready. But then I can come right back if I'm ready then, and if I'm not, you know, it's okay, because I can still continue getting the leads in a future date, even if it's, So I thought I'd tell that in case people are wondering, like, what to do with this overwhelm.
Yeah.
And also, you can send leads through them, and I've done that as well.
On a spreadsheet?
What?
Do you put your leads on a spreadsheet?
No. Yes and no. I keep them on the CSV thing. Yes.
Okay.
I have the CSV, you know, and I have them in a folder.
Yeah.
And I can bring them into a spreadsheet, but it brings them into I'm Mac, so it brings them to dot numbers, and that I can't upload them that way. So I keep them.
Well, good. All right, Mark, do you have any questions for Gloria?
No, I found it very interesting in what she's doing and what she's done, because that's moving forward and working on finding out exactly what works. And like we've been saying, you have to do many things. You have to try a lot of things, you know, to get to where you're trying to go. So I like what she's shared so far this morning.
Well, Gloria, let me ask you a question here. Now we know that you're always searching for ways and for people and finding a way to communicate and connect. So let's talk about the communication, because to me, and this is what I'm learning all over again this year, is that the communication process is the most important step for me. Yes, we need people to talk to, and in my opinion, we can find people. I remember my mentor one day, one of the things he said was, where do you get your leads? And his answer was everywhere. And that just left it wide open, and he just stared at me. I said, Charlie, where do you get the names and the leads? Now, this is days before computers, and he just said everywhere. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, what does everywhere mean? He was always asking me questions back. I think that's what prompted me to act like that when I'm talking to people. But he was always coming back and making me answer it. And he'd have stacks of business cards and names of people he ran into at restaurants and, friends and acquaintances. But he always carried his business card, and he always had a stack that he always was able to go to. And he said the worst case is don't you have a phone book? That's what insurance people do. That's what real estate people do. they go to phone books. And at that point, I discovered a way to find phone books online that was very, very interesting to do. But either way, the important thing is that we learn how to talk to those people, because I don't care what methods you get. I'm learning all over again this year is that the bottom line is once you find those interested parties, you better know what to do with them. So why don't you talk a little bit about that, and we'll get back to Mark, but what, about what it is when you find an interested party, and, how it may be, if you've learned this year through our class and all, what it is and how important it is to connect with those people and how to do it.
Well, I'm not sure I've 100% learned that yet, because one thing I find on Facebook, if you start being friendly with someone and you try to help them get what they want,
yeah,
and you make a suggestion, they all think you're trying to get them into something.
Yep.
So it's really difficult to get past that suspicion, because people are trying to get people into something.
Right.
And I may be giving them something that is totally free, totally unrelated to my business, that they have expressed, something that made me feel this would be something of value. So I haven't really overcome that yet. But my deepest thing is, as people come to my website and like the page and we can interact, and interaction will be on the basis of posts that I post and they respond to. And as I get more used to doing that without an agenda, then they'll ask.
When you have to talk
ask
to them, what are you doing? Do you get to talk to these people via telephone?
Most of the time it's via private messaging.
Yeah.
You make a friend request, or they make a friend request to you, and then you private message back and forth. And then if you want to get together, often you can get together on a Hangout or something like that, or by phone. I mean, some people, of course, I have met on the internet through Facebook, and I have their telephone numbers and they have mine. So we do communicate by phone.
So are you more comfortable now with it via telephone because
I've always been comfortable via telephone.
Yeah,
I've always been willing to call people. I just said too much.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say that was appropriate for moving people forward until the communication class. And as I said, the result is I would convince people.
Yeah.
And they'd trust me and they'd come in. But this backfired, because eventually there were so many people I met, and we went into so many businesses, and some were scams, that eventually they got jaded and didn't want to have anything to do with anything. So like now I really don't have a following that I did at one time. So
I think you're in the same boat as a lot of people. That's what's happened to a lot of people, and I think, again, I'm a phone person. I want to pick up the phone, and I want those communication with people, but I want the connection. I want to find them and then be able to pick up that phone and describe, why I'm calling them, and, get to the point of the reason I'm calling, and here's what I would need you to do, and then see if they follow. Bob Safford always taught us, just look, if you want to see if you're a good leader, just turn around and see who's following. That's what you have to do. And the same thing with that phone call. If you make an appointment with someone, if you've talked to them and said, well, here's what I'd like you to do, I'm going to send this over and take a look at it, we'll get back together again. If they don't show up, they're not going to follow. And that's what's going to happen if you bring them into the business. So that's the purpose of learning that communication, is to discover whether or not you're going to find a person, A, that you like, and B, that are going to follow this time. And I think that's the difficulty in this business, is finding people, who are willing to, sacrifice a little bit, and they're willing to learn. They're willing to follow, as long as you can provide them with the leadership and the system for them to follow. Because most people come into these companies, Gloria, you know this, you've said it 3 times on this call, they don't know what to do. And that's because there is no system in place for them to follow. And That's the key to it, and that's why we always said that, you know, in order to be successful, you have to be part of a system whereby that recruiting never stops. And some of us have gotten to that point, and some not. But that's why we have, you know, constantly upgrading the system. But the bottom line is finding the interested party, learning how to communicate, learning how to connect, and then discover whether they're going to follow. And that's the real key to the business, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I have some final words here, but we want to thank you for being here. But let's why don't you have a final closer or some inspiration for some people as to what they should be doing or could be doing, or.
Well, I intend to have a funnel on my page. I'm not like totally ruling that out, because if people go to that and hear what we have to offer, then yes, they'll leave their telephone number. I want telephone numbers too. And you know, when I backtrack one little thing. When I started out with Amway, I was terrified of the phone, but you had to use the phone, so I did. And I even at one point was calling from the telephone book.
Yeah.
It didn't take long to get rid of that fear.
Yeah.
Like one woman says, "Boy, you are brave to call through the telephone book." So anyway, yeah, it just takes doing it a little while, and you're over it. So I strongly encourage anyone who's afraid of the phone, just pick it up anyway.
Yeah.
And Joe, let me offer this in there, because that's
you taking that time to share with us today, and hopefully people can start to think about where they want to go, and that's the key to it and how they're going to get there. And we have a lot of people and help around us. Speaking of that, some people have sent me emails about putting them in a group. There's people stepping forward. There's an example of people stepping forward and say, "Joe, I want to be in a group that's working and practicing," and so I'll be reaching out to those people today. So once again, if you've been through the class and you go, "Joe, you know what, I'd like to work on a little team," we're putting teams of 5 and 6 people together, so that people can communicate, work with each other, challenge each other, and do exactly what you said today, picking up the phone and getting used to it. Because in my opinion, until you pick up that phone, you're not going to connect. I mean, you can connect on Facebook, you can make this thing, but when you pick up and have that personal touch, that's what people are looking for. They want to know that you're there. And somebody said it yesterday or last night, and we've heard this many times, is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's what that connection is about for us. So thanks for being here. We'll go over to you, Mark.
Yeah, something I'd like to add to that, which is, which is very important, is one of the first rules that I've learned a long time ago, as far as social media and especially Facebook, is not to try to sell anything. But here's the key, and Gloria, I think, I stand to be corrected, but here's what I'm hearing from you, and this is what I'm suggesting. If you're going to get on Facebook and these social medias, if you offer one of the most important things that we talk about, and that's education, you'll get some of those phone numbers. In other words, if a person knows that you want to offer them something that's going to educate them as to what they're trying to do, as opposed to sell them, because nobody likes to be sold anything. They really don't like to be sold. But if you offer education, and then they want to know more, and then you connect with them that way, then guess what? You'll get phone numbers, and you'll get to talk to them the way that you want to, because then they're going to want to know more. Well, because you'll be able to get to ask them that question, and even when talking to them, just ask them, have you ever had a successful business working from home? Just pop that question to them. And then they'll probably say, well, not much, or no, I've never really had. Then, well, I tell you what, here's my contact number. Give me a call, and I'll share some things with you that will help you there. You haven't even talked to them about your business, but guess what's going to come up? Well, Gloria, what is it that you're doing? What do you do? And how's that happen? That's how you connect with people. So that's very important. So, Joe, you want to add to that?
I just think you're right on target with it, and I'm just encouraging everybody to learn how to do that and learn. Get over the fear of picking up that phone. And starting this week, again, here's something interesting coming up. If you're getting in those groups of people, we're going to be starting phone hours. And if you really want to learn and you really want to, participate with a group and team up, we're going to start having sessions for a couple of hours, and I don't mean on Webinar Jam or on our platform. I'm talking about meeting here for 5 minutes and going to work and coming back and reporting some results so we can help you. I'll be making a couple, 3 days a week or 2 hours worth of phone calls to the leads and phone numbers I have to go directly to those people. Even though they're in the autoresponder, I will be calling them directly and finding out if I have an interested party. So if you want to participate in that, send me an email, and you'll be willing to get in a group to help and to learn, because we're not going to do three-ways for people who do not know how to introduce us to three-way conversations or know how to behave on a conversation with people and send them over the right way. So the class teaches you that, but we'll be going over that. If you've been through the class, you want to team up and start practicing with people, send the email. We'll team you up. We'll put these groups together, which we've already done, and we'll work together and have those, what we used to call power hours, where we met, and then all of a sudden, we're off on our phone calls, coming back, finding out what happened on your phone calls, or being available to do three-way. So if you really want to go to work, I believe it's going to take this getting educated on how to really connect with people, and that's what we're going to be sharing. So I'm excited about that. Send me an email. And again, first name, this is 4 lines. First name, phone number, email. Why are you sending me this request, or what is your request? And we'll team up. We'll get you put together, and we'll start working together so that you are learning to do what Gloria just said, getting comfortable, making sure that when you pick up that phone, there is no problem. And we're going to teach you to do that the right way. So over to you, bud.
Yeah, let me say a few things. Cecil Piper has put a few interesting things in here, and I want to kind of talk on that a little bit. He says you are your own resource personnel, and what you want to do is build a team of like-minded people. And then he says that I am and this is something that can be used. He says I am a business consultant with a successful business. Wait a minute. I am a business consultant with a concentration of operating a successful business from home. Do you know anyone that would like to know of? Wait a minute. Do you know of anyone that would like to look at an opportunity to earn a residual weekly income from the comfort of their home? And then, so in other words, you have to use a phone, and you want to attract like-minded people. And the thing is, the two important things is education, understanding what you're doing, and communication. That's where the class comes in. Because, again, now, as Gloria said, that once she went through the class, now she was ready to talk to everybody and anybody because she knows how to address them. She knows what to say, and that is very important. If you learn what to say and how to say it, it changes. It's a game changer. And that's why we keep talking about the communication class is so important. In order to be a connector, you have to be a communicator. And you have to know how to communicate in a proper way, and you'll get somebody's attention. But the other thing is, don't try to sell them, but what you need to do is educate them. Because, like I said, if you went back through my stable of clients over my almost 40 years, and you ask them, they'll say, well, Mark Stevens never sold them anything. What he did was educated me, and he let me, make a decision because I asked him questions, and he gave me answers, and I made a decision. So I never had to sell anything, Joe.
Yeah,
what
Mark,
I did was educate.
This other quote from Cecil, and this is, with respect to Gloria, and I'm glad he put this up here, and it couldn't be said any better. She's doing the business. That's what he says. Until you can pay someone to do it, we have to do the business, and she's doing the business. She's, she is in search of what makes her comfortable to find the interested party, to connect with them, And this is what has to be done. This is not a simple business of waiting for spillover and, hoping somebody builds it for you. If this is the first time that you've really thought about, the education portion and what education you get, there's plenty of education out there, and in my opinion, most of it's wrong. And I know that sounds egotistical, but I've been through this for 22 years, and I've watched what's being taught out there, and I also watched the number of 97% of the people not making money. So something's wrong with the education system. That's the real problem. And so, we teach people to communicate, to connect, and to get the people on board properly. It's called onboarding. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. So with that, I just hope everybody has a great day. Gloria, once again, thank you for being here. We appreciate you coming in and sharing. Hopefully people got some inspiration here on going to work, because she is doing the business. That's what you do. You go to work. That's the secret and the key to the business. Go to work. So,
thank you, Joe.
Yeah,
happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We're happy to know you and get to know you over the last year, and I'm just happy that you're one of the people who recognize the industry has great value and benefits. You just have to go get it. So thanks for being here. So with that, Mark, you want to close, or I can do that, or whatever? But
you can go ahead and close, Joe.
Well, look, everyone, just we also want to have some other people on here. We've got a number of requests. If you have something to share of value, you've been through the class, you're excited about what you're doing, and you'd like to share some information, again, email, name, phone, email, and what are you requesting? We have a lot of people who want to do that, and we're selecting the people who are working, who are going forward with us and learning and educating other people, because that's what this is about, being of service. That's why Gloria is here today. That's why she didn't reject it when we asked her to be here, because you know what? She is being of service. She wants to help people, and that's why she's sharing it. So with that, have a great day, everybody. For Mark Stevens, this is Joe Shoup. Have a great day. And Gloria, once again, thanks for being here. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Peace and blessings, everyone.